They have engage on command, basically, on demand, basically. So PSG, they cannot ever face check. They always need to keep a posture where they're somewhat ahead.
Well, we'll see if PSG can do it. Putting themselves up 2-0 would certainly go a long way on the confidence. Last time these two teams met in the postseason, back in Spring Split, it was a 3-0 shellacking, but Deep Cross have already fought back. This second game draft, I like it a lot better. We'll see what this team's got here on the blue side. PSG, up to their usual tricks. 3-man, rush, push, invade. DCG, they know this one. They've seen it a million times.
Not going to go through here. And taking a look at the runes, we are going to get a tank Gragas into the top lane. It's not going to be your AP flavored first strike Gragas. Somewhat to be expected here. They definitely need someone
risky.
That can... yeah, that would be, I think, a wrong decision. Let's just call that one. And in the meantime, I feel like PSG really need to think about how they're going to get the early kill from, because as I'm looking at their lanes, Wukong needs a lot of time to farm, and Gragas typically can't do much against the Renekton early on. So I actually think their only out is for some sort of gank in mid lane, but I just feel like it's so hard. I feel like DCG just won the draft.
Yeah, let's see if they can win the game as well. You get things underway, a little bit of poke trading down bottom. Piling actually takes a lot. Again, he's not on a tank this time around. Leaky finding Hanabi in the tri-brush as he comes up from a little bit of help on the start. So already off to the races, bullying. We'll see how well Hanabi can outlive in the mid lane and trying to deny the XP. Oh, I'm already smelling an early leaky push.
Yeah, Hanabi, excuse me, had to go in just to pick up that EXP from the melee minions.
Every time these two teams
and in doing so, it gets a Q.
Yeah, Hana Hanabi, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I'll get used to that soon enough. Leaky, or a good trade there by Hanabi. You know, he was catching Leaky a little bit off guard right there.
But he's just fully denied farm, right? Like, I mean, he's still level 1. This is gonna be so brutal, and I think. God, does Bury even make an appearance here, or are they just going to try and, like, hard win bot? Like, what does Bury do this game?
Bury farms and tries to make a big splash, I think, on the first team fight. That's pretty much it.
There you go. Okay, wrap around from Hana. Ooh, in the Glacial Path, they find Nesty and Gory. Here we go, looking to line this one up, and it's just 2v2. The flash out from Nesty. Hana secures first blood. Bury just doesn't have the damage to compensate. Meanwhile, Woody under fire from PSG down bottom. The 2v2 woes continue, but he gets out alive.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there from Woody. I think he just got caught face checking. He thought that the 2v2 might require his help, so he goes top, but runs into the 2-man of PSG. And now we do see Bury looking for a little bit more. Come on, Hana, you think you need to give over those chickens.
Oh no! Bury steps right into it. Hana looking at a chase down and actually flashes to make sure he gets the stun. Gory's there. Oh, Flash was burned on both sides. Hana very aggressive in this early game. I love to see it.
Yeah, and I would say that actually works out in favor of Hana for sure, because, you know, for the side of Wukong, him getting an early kill is much more important for PSG. PSG, they have a expiration date on this composition. They need to get ahead, so that usually entails the jungler being able to make successful kills. Now we have Gory trying to get something sneaky off here. They know that Woody doesn't have a flash, so maybe that is going to be PSG's comeback button here.
Yeah, didn't quite see Hana or the red buff, so theoretically could have already taken it. Doesn't really go in to check that one way or the other. Leaky taking a little low. I wonder what happened in that one. Still, though, the farm lane, you got to respect the Gragas damage coming out and the stain that Hanabi has on this Grasp of the Undying. Compared to the Conquerors, Leaky's going to just want to get up in his face, and Bury is coming through top. I wonder if we'll see a lane gank.
We do have Leaky with rather low HP, and they did just spot Sejuani, so they know it's going to be a while until Hana can make it back into the top side. So I think, you know, Leaky seems very experienced to the point that it might be pretty hard to get a gank off here, but Bury's going to try.
He is. There's a stun. Cold Meek there, and Hanabi actually hitting level 5 first. He's picked right back up in that experience. Leaky gets back there as well, and
the pings go down. They know.
They're trying to bait it. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Leaky knows what's up. But this is good for PSG, right? Like, they're bringing some jungle pressure top. It's just not something that's happened a lot. Obviously forced into a rough matchup. But it does mean that down bottom, Deep Cross can go without fear into this 2v2. Spell Shield popped early and aggressively for Criscata. A little low on mana. But Unified and Kaiwing are doing better than their opposition last game with this 2v2.
Yeah, we are seeing a couple things there. DCG is willing to walk up because they do have the Ignite advantage in this matchup so far. And I do see the Lulu doing a little bit better against Yuumi in most cases. Gory's still holding on to his flash in this one. Let's see if Nesty is about to take 6. Oh, he's very close. Look at that HP bar, EXP bar.
Yeah, goes on that one. So has the Frozen Tomb. Gory a little bit low on mana as well. Let's take a look at where Bury's going for the wraparound. Actually just going to join Gory for a moment in the river as they put down vision, trying to keep eyes on where Hana could be. Back in the bot. Boomerang Blade connects. Woody taking low. These 2v2s are just not going in Deep Cross's favor. You can see the difference in form. As Leaky gets some dirty farm up top.
Yeah, I think he did spot out where the Wukong is on the map. He assumes that Wukong is going to be in the bottom side, so he's willing to kind of force this one. And this is a play. Lulu still without the flash and under level.
Very much so.
Criscata left alone.
They didn't spot this one. Criscata's by himself. He's got to be a dead man here as he tries to stutter step. Oh, no!
Flash?
The flash and still dies. Kaiwing stays alive. Hana's way too late to the party. And, man, it's brutal for DCG's bot lane. So brutal, we got to pause. We got to give him a moment to chill, Clement.
Yeah, that was a very weird situation. I don't think Criscata meant to flash right there, and that might be the reason why the pause is coming through.
It could have been an error, yeah.
Yeah, he was dead either way. Like, you know, Wukong's holding onto his Q. You can't flash that. There's not much you can do about that. You get 300 range on that Wukong Q, so there was nothing he would be able to do with Wukong behind him. I'm very surprised about that play. I think it might have something to do with the sudden pause right there. But what we saw is, you know, Woody losing the trade, getting poked out, and then suddenly the AD carry is left alone here with Bury already here. And I'm very surprised about this chain of events because you could tell by the way that Leaky was farming that they expected Bury to be bottom side, but they somehow still faltered.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at how the game goes from there. Obviously, still in the pause at the moment. We'll let you all know when we get word on what exactly went down in that one. But as the game stands at the moment, PSG hard winning on the bottom side, but of course the exact opposite is true up top. And mid lane has been going more in favor of Nesty lately. I think Hana's had a greater impact on the map overall than Bury has, but at the same time, how well does that bode for Deep Cross elsewhere on the map, right? Because if the Zeri starts to get accelerated, that's trouble as well.
Does look like a technical issue with Criscata here, so...
Yeah, I think it sounded like his flash probably was burned, unfortunately, and due to something technical.
I don't think we've seen a situation where someone, you know, the flash goes wrong, but we have a chrono break of some sort. I don't think we've had a chrono break in the PCS so far. So
I don't think so either. It's been not since it was implemented, if I recall. So I guess we'll have to see what comes of it. But I do appreciate Criscata's coordination, by the way. He's got the KDA headset and mouse pad.
Hey. You gotta get your drip right, okay?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Look, we've been doing all the Star Guardian stuff in the pre-games, you know, like we've had like the Akali Bad Dream cinematic, which is really epic. But like that's like anime aesthetic Akali. We got to talk about like KDA Akali, man. Like that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. So, you know, coming back.
Champions.
Huh? Excuse me?
Oh, sorry, I just said multifaceted champions. But yeah, let's get back into the game.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how this one is going right now, because it's still fairly even in gold with the fire back and kill.
Yeah, a couple big things, just a point right off the bat. We did not have a chrono break. The flash and the ghost definitely gone from the bottom side. And in the top lane, guess what? The Blade of the Ruin King Renekton is here, and I actually like this. If you have a Lulu to burst, to buff his HP even further, I think Blade of the Ruin King is actually the correct build here. So you can always get the wild growth in team fights to keep your Croc alive a little bit longer anyway, and this way it gives DCG a potential side lane to play with, a way to kind of open up the map, and now we have to push in over towards the Herald. right on time here. Woody might even be able to pick up a little bit of EXP. It's always really important to see how close these supports are going to be hitting level 6.
Yeah, this is a good start. It happens in Vision, but there's not a whole lot that PSG can test for it. Instead, they may opt to try and get themselves Dragon, but it's a mountain. It's a little harder to take down early on, and also Cryscata and Woody weren't necessarily going to give it to him for free. They actually had to take an uber-safe path to get back into their lane, but even that's not safe. Here comes Gory and Furry and Vision. They have this one. Nesty's going to try to come to the rescue, but Unified is just shredding plates off this tower. Already got 2 down. You got to make that Rift Herald worth it.
Yeah, I would say that in 12.14, most of these plays typically still go in favor of the Herald team, because you do get that local 200 gold just being dropped by the Herald these days. So it's not all that bad losing 320 onto the bot side. But we can see the PSG focus right here. They're laser focused on DCG's bottom side. They want to take them down. They know there's no summoners right there. And again, as we said, PSG are running a composition that doesn't have a lot of tankiness. I don't expect them to be able to face check in most instances, which means they need to stay ahead for the most part. And here they go, trying to find another dive.
Oh, immediately hopping the wall with the lightning crash as well into that Yuumi ult. Cryscata never knew what hit him. Unifies on the board on the Zeri. They're really showing him how to play this composition out. Woody just totally left alone. Yeah, after the dragon take as well, like, PSG are owning this bottom side. You can see it reflected in the Vision.
I just felt like that was so unnecessary from DCG. Like, whatever they did, it was going to be there.
Oh, okay, Gory.
Switches over the cleanse.
Yeah, there we go. So they got that burned, all the same. DCG aren't going to give up on this just yet. Furry is away. They want to chase him. Doesn't have any easy escapes unless he wants to burn that flash. And he's going to take the fight right now as they have Unified. Kaiwing, Woody going to be isolated as he was trying to cut off Distract. Here comes the Sivir right back into it. And all of a sudden, Unified Bam pushes luck a little too hard, but maybe so is Ana. Goes in, they get the 2 kills. It was the ice throw. They get that one. And now the chase is on. Kaiwing, Gory on the run. They burn the flashes to try and get out of there. Deep Cross come out ahead.
Yeah, I'm actually very amazed by that fight because it wasn't a guaranteed kill coming in from the side of DCG. They just used their Frozen Tome on Gory, which Gory just simply cleansed and walked away from that one. But unfortunately for Furry, I felt like he held on to his flash for too long. Like, if he burned his flash in that engagement and was able to survive a while longer, you know, that fight could have been turned around. It wasn't necessarily a loss for PSG, so we'll watch this again. Again, they are missing an ultimate from their mid laner, and Gory knows that. He's pushing through right here. Furry, unfortunately, gets chain CC to death. It goes down without really contributing, and then Cryscata comes in at the right moment after Unified has dumped most of his damage onto the support, giving DCG this massive win.
Yeah, it's a great bait. So, get back on the board. Obviously, Cryscata still killless, but Nesty with 2, looking to maybe make another one. There's no cleanse that time around, just CC for days. Hana sticks to him like glue, and Nesty claims kill number 3s. Adding the stacks to that Dark Seal.
Yeah, and we have to look at Nesty right now. 3-0-1. He's starting to pump out a lot of damage, and I think this is going to impact the bot lane the most. PSG, they wanted to shove in against Cryscata and Woody. I don't think they can do that anymore. Now Nesty has wrestle control.
Furry's not going to be able to stop this push. That's going to be a plate, probably some more. Oh no, Furry runs face first into that one. Oh, you have to respect it. Didn't even expect that one point blank. The clone doesn't even come out, and now it's going to be all the plates. Should be almost the tower if they want it as well. My word. 12 minutes on the clock. This game pace is accelerated dangerously, and Nesty has just become a fed carry on the Lissandra.
Yeah. Did you just see Nesty's player cam? He's got the killer eyes.
That's scary, because normally he's the supportive guy, but when he is awakened, when the anger is there, Clement, oh, you better watch out.
He's usually the jovial guy with kind of like a goofy demeanor, but if you just watch his face right there, he's got the killer eyes on.
Yeah. No, this is the anime art where the chill, like, unflappable protagonist just, like, gets deadly serious, and all the bad guys are like, wait, what the hell?
This isn't the regular season Nesty. Where was that guy?
This is postseason Nesty. Oh boy! All right, PSG apparently have awakened some sleeping giants right now. Let's see if they can get back in the game, get back on the board. Right now, they are down in the gold game. Maybe have that dragon, but more news, Clement. The Blade of the Rune King is officially completed for Leaky.
We have seen this build from Rest. It's Blade of the Rune King, and then you go second item into a tank legendary to hold up onto the front line. Works out quite well. You know, you get your early laning strength. You have a Lulu to buff you through the first couple of team fights. So it's definitely a tried and true strategy we've seen a couple of times already. And in the meantime, for PSG, the question really is, how do they get back? Because they currently do not have... they're winning bot, but I don't think it really matters all that much for them. Leaky getting dangerously low for this plate.
Yeah, that was... man... He did it for the plate, and he got it. He got out, but that was close to giving Hanabi some much-needed gold back. Honeyfruit picked up. You could see Nesty was going up there, but I think they knew that he was walking through a ward. Right back to lane. It's going to be the back for Hanabi, so the push will continue as they wanted that last second plate gold to come through.
A big thing about this game this time around is that, honestly, Cryscata isn't that far behind. He's still keeping abreast in terms of the item numbers. Yeah, so I think this is, you know, a very strong part for DCG, and with their mobility and instant ability to engage on both sides, I like how they're playing. Oh, yep.
Boom and Gory down, and that's perfect timing to pick up the dragon as well. Cryscata's on the board with a kill. Yeah, even though the lane was a bit of an oopsie for some time, that play down bot, getting Unified killed, it sets up so much more for Deep Cross as the game goes on, and now they've got the tempo to work with PSG. We knew they had a timer, and it's starting to run out even here at 15 minutes, shy of 15 minutes.
I just want to remind everyone, I think letting Sejuani go, big no-no for PSG. You know, you can't give this instant engage. Look at how many people have died trying to defend that tier 1 mid lane tower. It's just instant engage here, and I like the way DSG has played this because they know they have the mobility plus the instant engage advantage, so they're just hedging themselves between PSG members. PSG, if they have to flank this, there's no chance. One side is just going to get crushed before they can convert. So, you know, very smart way that DCG is playing is they can pick the most high priority target this time around, the mid lane tower plus the Drake and Herald, and they just force the issue because PSG cannot try to come in on different angles.
Gory's been shut out so far, and he is usually the biggest bright side of PSG. Deep Cross not going to let up on the pressure at all. They go a full tour of Summoner's Rift after getting all of that Dragon, getting that Herald, now moving themselves up to the top side as Buri and Gory try to respond. They're going to bring Unified and Kaiwing as well, but I don't know if this fight goes their way. There's the chase on, and instantly stunned up for the disengage factor. DCG realized there was a lot of firepower there. They back away.
I like that trade from Hana, you know, not even going to lose HP on that one. They just get the tower and go. And if you look across the map, what they're trading back for it is Tank Gragas gets a tower. Like, who cares? DCG 100% say that trade's in their favor.
Yeah, it's looking good for them right now. And Nesty has just become an absolute monster. He completes his Zhonya's second item. Mission take notes. As we will see what they can do with... Yeah, I'm calling him out. We've been talking about... He's gotten better, I'll admit. But here's the other thing, too, Clement. We've got a Cloud Soul, which is not normally the most exciting soul to be played for. But in a Sivir comp? Oh, boy! There is no stopping the DCG train if that happens.
We could be just seeing, like, 2 Glacial Prisons come out in one team fight, and that would be very damaging for PSG. You know, they could barely survive one rotation.
Yeah.
We have the jungle control here. I think PSG, they need a Lucky Charm somewhere on the sides of these fights. They can't go in. There's no one that can.
They're going to need a pick. There's going to need a pick. I mean, the Leandries is on as well. Like, everyone's got mythics at this point, so that is helpful. The problem is they're running out of room. They're running out of space. Leaky's back on bottom tower. Now Hana's there to chase Hanabi away, and yeah, like PSG, they need to get something going for themselves, but it just feels like this game, they just got outdrafted so hard.
They absolutely did, and I honestly questioned the idea of banning both Kalista and the Lucian when it was pretty obvious that DC, they were angling for a Sivir first pick. So you ban away 2 Sivir counters and you hand over Sivir. So looked a little bit weird to me.
Oh, speaking of Sivir, just got on the chase. I mean, I will give Unified and Kylan credit. They didn't want to necessarily pick the Yumi's area, and they did pretty well in lane. The problem is everything else kind of fell apart around them, and then they pushed a little too deep. Here's another Herald, going to go for the charge in the inner. Leaky's around the side if they need it, and actually looking for the chase down.
Buri gets spotted.
Not even fooled by the clone for a second. They actually land the bola onto Buri. They're trying for the full disengage. This is what this comp can do. But how long can you last? They burn the heal as well. Gory trying to chase with a sandwich effort. Here comes Buri for that desperate effort, but they burst through the Cyclone. PSG still on the chase. Oh, Woody keeps himself alive with that wild growth. That has got to be so frustrating to deal with. Hana, the dash dodges the crash.
Lightning Crash doesn't get anyone.
Oh, the Ultra Shock Laser doesn't do enough. Clement, this is so brutal to watch. They dumped everything into the effort. Cannot find the kills, and they lose Buri in the bin.
Yeah, this is what DCG's composition can do. They can just chase down targets from such a long distance away. They had the extra mobility given across the team from Sivir. So they just spot Buri and then chase him down after a flash, after a final chapter, and after a cyclone. I mean, that's just what this composition can do to you at times. It's very difficult to play against because you need people pre-positioned to kind of ward away all this aggression here. And I actually didn't have to flash there, but it's still pretty crazy that BCG can chase all this distance, make the kill work. PSG, they tried to get a target back, but if you look at their front line, it's Woody with Wild Growth and offensive drawing. So they aren't able to burst anyone through, and then we see a pretty good slow field on the back end of that one. Unfortunately for Unified, Lightning Crash doesn't get anyone, so doesn't get the extra MS to chase down.
Yeah, all right. You know, after that one, I feel like Nesty, you can buy Medjais as a treat, just a treat, just for you. I want to see it. I really do. Because this Lissandra is just disgusting at this point with the burst. Like, this is such a good turnaround from, like, last split, when Lissandra basically just existed to make sure LeBlancs didn't have a good game. Redemption arc.
I think we have seen just the mage items be a little bit better for her. You know, the Lissandras we have seen some later game items like the Demonic Embrace, so she can actually just pack that percentage health damage now and still be relevant a lot further.
Too. Like, the fact that they have this with the Sejuani, you just have to cleanse through so much. And now Hanabi on the run.
They're not bursting.
Does that dodge away? Yeah, he's going to be able to do it. But the gold lead keeps growing, and the pressure is on. And I think while that replay was happening, I think that Cloud Dragon just straight up went over to DCG.
Yep.
Like, I looked at the timer and realized, oh, yeah, no, they just went ahead and polished that one off. So, you know, a little bit of out-of-combat move speed as well makes it even easier to chase down these targets.
So now the question really is, you know, what can PSG do? I'm trying to look across the board here, and it just seems so difficult. I'm trying to picture their perfect team fight, and it almost has to involve Hanabi scattering the rest of the team, but then isolating one target for PSG to burst down. I feel like that's their only kind of golden win condition. And to be honest, Hanabi has not been the most impressive barrel thrower out there. We'll see if he has gotten better at it, but I haven't seen him pull off truly crazy separations just yet.
There's a reason that so much ban focus was put on him, right? To try and get Leaky, who is a very big carry player. Missing that ward. That's a bit of an oopsie from Deep Cross. See if it bites him behind later. Yeah, like, I think putting Hanabi on this type of champion minimizes his impact, and that is a really smart way for Deep Cross to draft, because Hanabi has been performing better as a weak side player, but not giving him the opportunity to go toe-to-toe with Leaky in straight up damage or anything else, forcing him onto a suboptimal tank matchup. You know, banning his Ornn is always kind of a good play. And then also the takeaway of Unified and Kyling's preference has really helped, because that's been the strong side of the map. Like, Deep Cross have just run a clinic on PSG. Has it been the cleanest? Has it been perfect? No. But they've done incredible in this game, too, bouncing back after they're the ones that got ran down in game 1.
And this is, you know, the damage.
In the final chapter. Look at Nesty, though. Doesn't take it. That looked like bait. Burns his flash. PSG looking for the picks. But Deep Cross, too slippery. They're backing away.
I think Kriskata definitely pushed his luck right there. A couple too many crits coming out of Unified, and Kriskata has to back out.
Yeah, you gotta respect it.
Actually have the sustain.
Yeah, Ultra Shock laser focus. Yeah, but they don't get punished, right? Sure, they get pushed off. They can't keep this going, but no kills.
True, for now.
There's the Medjais. All right, Netsty, let's go.
Hana.
Okay.
Fine here.
Yeah, he's tanky. He's a tanky boy.
So I think DCG at this point, they're just waiting until Renekton can kind of draw members away, and then they can run down the rest of the team. If you have a two-man squad heading over for Leaky, then DCG 4v3, they can run down anyone. They have their full engage still parked onto the Baron side of the map. So I feel like PSG cannot respond to what's happening in bot lane, and that's also a danger.
Ooh, good barrel bop. They do actually knock Leaky into tower range, and that actually stops this dive from happening cold. Unified Kaiwin come over, they'll take Leaky down. What a great turn. Shut down gold to the Zeri.
You almost never see that while being taken here. And
wait, what?
What? He gets stunned.
Nesty!
No,
he tries to escape. He's not out at all. PSG get 2 quick kills.
It's
That's another shutdown.
That's Baron.
That's Baron play. Yeah, you gotta be kidding me.
Are we seeing the JT curse? This is exactly how PSG beat
You can take these teams out of J team, but you can't take the J team out of them.
Oh no!
I can't believe what we just saw. That was, okay, Hanabi had not had a great game, but that was a hero barrel. Now, they got to secure this Baron. It's still technically a flip with Hana. Leaky coming back in, but they're going to turn for the fight. They're going to go for the play. Here we go into the final chapter. They look for Woody. They split is good from Deep Cross Gaming, but that second wind effort, do they have it? Hana flashing away. Deep Cross are still just too slippery.
That was a great move by Leaky there. He went in as the Renekton, blocked everyone from chasing up after Bury and Kaiwing, and that meant even though the crowd control was down, the damage didn't go through on the backline. So he manages to save everyone, and DCG back out without a loss.
Oh,
we're going to take a look
like
at
an
this
easy,
again.
clean cut play, but Hanabi times his barrel perfectly, and then he knows he has Unified and Kaiwing at his back. What a great setup.
I think Nesty tried to play this a little bit too cheeky.
Yeah,
like he sees the TP there, and is just like, ah!
No, that's not happening, Nesty. And then he's like, all right, last ditch effort. Okay. But double shutdowns for the Zeri, that's going to accelerate the goal huge. However, unable to get the Baron, unable to capitalize off the back of that does mean DCG still have great objective advantage. Cloud Dragon, this is going to be sole point. Unless Bury has something to say about it. Oh no, we're into the Smite. He steals it away. Oh, is this happening, Clement?
No, DCG missed time. They actually back out before finishing out the objective. And how is PSG doing this? They take away the potential Cloud Soul point. And I have to say, Unified right now has a damage advantage over Frescata. If PSG can just poke and just kite away from DCG engage, they have a good opportunity to turn the fight. You can see Nesty's killer eyes are getting even more killer.
Oh, I mean, he's going to need them, though, at this point. PSG have found a couple of unlikely turns. 26 minutes, the gold lead has been cut down to about 3,500. The Dragons have been evened out, and the Baron attempt was stopped by DCG on the fight. Here we go, the chase forward. That's the charm onto Leak. He can't go any further forward than he'd like here, as Hana's not backing down from this. They get the stun off onto Bury, but what's going on? Deep Cross seem a little scattered. They'll rejoin. Reconnoiter here. PSG are hunting for kills.
This is not a good terrain for them to actually start this one, because PSG is here. What you really want with PSG is you want your mobility to work for you.
Well, he's too tanky.
We're going in.
They find Frescata. Final chapter. He's dodging away. We've seen this so many times. Lemon, they just can't find a target, but the turn is there for Deep Cross over the wall for the burst. They find the damage, not enough. Nesty buying time for himself and stays alive. All the ultimates dumped out. Bury is out of this fight. He goes in again. Gory looks for a charm, eats Frescata. Shield on that. We'll see what they can get done here. Without Bury, it means they could try to threaten Baron. Teleport in from Nesty, back off of base. He's not spotted. Here we go.
Direction right here.
Gonna bring back.
There still is no smite on the side of PSG.
Gory doesn't know this is happening.
They're going in,
they find Here the burst. They go for this one. He buys time with his own stopwatch as well. Hanabi, though, taking as much damage as he possibly can. Unified opens up onto Hana, and it's PSG that turns it. The double kill. The Zeri damage is just too real. The lightning comes crashing. A triple. Looking for the quadra. He stutter steps, and he gets it.
Oh, PSG, they win it back. from the brink of destruction.
I can't believe
right
what we
there.
just saw. PSG have done it. They've come. Yeah, everyone's surprised by that. Hit that, Timo. What is happening, Clement?
Unified with the pop-up right there. So a couple big things here. DCG, they do not finish the task.
All right, the Baron goes in favor of PSG. I'll see if we can't get Clement back in just a moment or two. But
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh,
Hello?
there we are.
Hello?
Now he's back.
Oh, okay, I'm back. So a couple big
talk me
things
through
here.
this.
Gory does not go down. He manages to get his Zhonya's off, which means that 2 ultimates are wasted on the Ahri, and Unified is able to just pop off on the back end. There's nobody on him. Cascada tries to ricochet, but they don't get the kills right here. Unified gets that time for Zoomies to come up, and then it's chased down with the red buff. Nobody's getting away. He has so much movement speed. You need those crowd control abilities there to keep Unified in check.
Unified is an absolute god. This guy has been consistently one of the top performers in this region. So many years of experience. Health issues have kept him out of numerous events on the world stage. And this season, he comes in, this split, he and Kaiwing have an unexpectedly middling performance. Like, not even bad, just bad by their incredibly high standards. And in the playoffs, oh boy, Unified is back, baby.
And he's back with a vengeance right here. This time around, though, DCG do finally get that infinity edge onto their back line. So I would say the damage numbers are a little bit closer. But we have a big push incoming by PSG, and they're looking for Cascada again.
Yeah, they are. This time Cascada's able to move away, but still that's going to result in another tower. PSG, they know they have the gold lead, and they're going to push it for all it is worth. Nesty was on the top side, could not even get involved. He backs away. Hanabi pushing in Leaky in the mid. They may have to stop this push here, but you know what? The Dragons equalize. PSG in 30 seconds. They have a chance to get soul point.
Yeah, it's getting dangerously close for both sides here, and I think DCG need to be a little bit more judicial with their crowd control. They need to leave something for Unified, and he has a cleanse, so late game that's very difficult to deal with. I almost feel like Ahri at this point is not as much of a threat anymore. You're much better just saving that damage for Unified. What you want to do is kind of trade frontline HP, and then whenever Unified pops up, you just throw down the Frozen 2.
Absolutely. PSG know they have a chance back in this game, an unlikely chance, but it has gotten so much better for them. Looking to set up for this Dragon. This one's going to be fought for. Most contested Cloud Drake. 31 minutes
PSG
about to tick.
With a bit of a poke advantage right here. Hana has to wait for that Frozen Armor to come back, and PSG has decided positional advantage.
Yeah, they do. Gotta respect the Hanabi barrel as well. He can just knock them away for the time being. It's not the same as a Poppy, but it doesn't matter. He goes in, body blocks it out. They secure this before Deep Cross can respond, and they immediately turn. Here comes Nessie around the side. They get a stun of Hanabi's there, but it doesn't really matter. Nessie now, he's gonna be the one caught himself, and the rest of Deep Cross, they want to make the play. They're flashing and dashing and trying to get to safety, but it doesn't matter. Unified stays alive, and they just come crashing through. Leaky gets bursted immediately through all of the tank, all of the sustain, and Deep Cross, against all odds, Clement, this PSG comp roaring back to life in the late game.
Yeah, I feel like, unfortunately, DCG actually missed a beat right there. When Gragas went in, just Hanabi, they should have instantly turned killed him. Like, I feel like that was the correct move there. They kind of missed that beat. They go in furthermore, but Unified with the cleanse is able to kite back up a ramp and force DCG to walk through their tank line. And DCG at this point, they just can't do it, even though there's a lot of ricochets going through. Not enough of them are actually hitting Unified in the back. He's able to heal up with the Immortal Shield Bow and stays alive.
PSG have just mastered their comeback mechanics, it seems, in this game. Able to flip it. You can see how the gold has gone just off the back of some opportunistic plays that they've completely capitalized on. Finding more damage. Unified getting fed after what seemed like just it was too little. It wasn't enough. They were losing out everywhere else on the map. Gory was neutralized. Hanabi was in a bad position. Bury was running pell-mell everywhere. Well, when you've got a Zeri that goes 8 kills up, sitting on 4.5 items, nearly full build in this game, in the hands of someone like Unified, that just feels unwinnable. And PSG, they got outdrafted hard this game. They got outplayed a good chunk of it too. But here they are, on the cusp of going up to match point in this elimination game.
I gotta say, this does feel like a bit of the Zeri effect. Once she gets out of hand, there's no really putting her back into the box anymore. And from these fights, what we've seen is that DCG actually lack a bit of magic damage. You know, they burst down with Lissandra, and after that rotation, there's no one to really follow up. So we're seeing Hanabi actually just survive throughout the entirety of these team fights. He's able to kind of hold up the front there. No one's going to try and target him. They need that magic damage for someone else, and it's becoming harder for Cascada to actually find some of these backlines. The profile healer is working in PSG's favor as Unified goes in.
He's just an assassin on this area. He goes right over the wall. The final chapter mostly dodged away, but they had to burn a lot of flashes to do it now. The teleport comes through for Hanabi, and they're looking to take advantage of the momentary split that they've caused. Leaky gonna rejoin the team. They won't get anything off the back of that. Buri has to be careful not to get caught out himself as he spies Hana around the side. But the Baron's about to spawn. PSG in a great position to start this off. No flashes on that bottom side for Deep Cross. Nesty ding 16 here. I think they might just bait this out.
So for this fight, you don't have the cleanse onto Unified, but you still have the GA. Those are the important parameters to remember right here. Gory at least spotted out, so I think DCG can still try to take this a little bit measured, you know.
Oh, how do you measure that?
Not well, not well. DCG almost forced it back off with Woody at this point. Oh, what I was trying to say is that, hey, if Buri come over and Nabi come over, you can just start tapping onto him, you know? Just hold your ultimates. That's what you want to do in these team fights. You don't necessarily have to start on Unified and then try to force your way through a Nabi and Buri. You can start on them, fine, but, you know, just hold your ultimates for the big threat.
Yeah, great. Cross. They do have a scaling advantage. They do have the ability to slip out of bad situations, as we've seen them do before, but now starting on the Baron. PSG, they're one of the teams that commit to this. Look at the Ahri flank. Gory going to try and look to set something up here as we see Hanabi walking into the bush. He gets stunned up, eats that ice bola, but it doesn't matter. And the trap is sniffed out, but who's trapping who here? Nesty around the side looking for Gory. Oh, the double stopwatch pop, but it's Gory that immediately turns his attention on to Nesty, who himself goes into stasis, but Unified is cleaning up in the meantime. The double kill, they take him down. That's going to be the triple kill as they're going for more. Hana's left on his own, running to the wrong base, slowed down by the prowling projectile, and the chase just keeps on going. Hana knows there's nothing for him to do. They will deny a quadra kill from Unified, but it just doesn't matter. The push comes into the mid and the bottom lane. They're gonna try to end here.
Just with the Zanya's use has been so beautiful. Able to bait people out of position right there. It's only 2 team fights, and PSG are able to turn everything around. Both of these fights, Buri was the target. He's able to survive and give Unified that space to just clean house on the Zeri. PSG gonna go up 2-0.
Woody may be spamming a laugh, but it's PSG that had the last laugh yet again here as they take out that last Nexus turret and finish off Game 2. The reigning champions go to match point.
Oh boy, what can I say? I just am so amazed by the way Gory can play. Even when he's behind, he always contributes correctly. He was able to bait out 2 ultimates in that critical Baron team fight, give Unified that quadra kill. And of course, Unified did very well for himself as well, you know. That big critical fight where he had the Infinity Edge and the opposing team didn't. He was able to just chew through the front line. This was a game where I didn't see PSG coming back at all. PSG's early game was downright atrocious. They lost so many kills on the mid lane tower. It was Drake after Drake going over to the side of DCG,